The concept of an orbital ring involves the placement of an artificial ring around a planetary body that rotates at a speed sufficient to counteract gravity. With a required speed of 10 km per second for Earth, this structure serves as a space station or planetary vehicle for high-speed transportation and space launches. Internal tension within the cable due to a net outward force prevents any bending and provides load-bearing capabilities. A motorized platform is placed on the cable that runs in the opposite direction, appearing to be stationary above the ground. The construction of a planet-sized cable in low Earth orbit is impractical, necessitating alternative architectures such as the launch loop, particle ring, space fountain, and tethered ring. The orbital ring is similar to the traditional space elevator concept, but uses a different mechanism since no known substance possesses the necessary tensile strength to stretch from GEO to the surface. The theme of the story revolves around the concept of space transportation and the challenges scientists face in creating structures that are efficient and practical. The concept of an orbital ring system involves placing a slightly elliptical ring above the equator in low Earth orbit. The ring is supported by multiple stations placed at the high ends of its path, which bend the cable downward to produce an upward force. This creates an orbit that resembles an American football shape rather than a rounded ellipse. By adjusting the lift generated by bending the cable, the amount of tension in the ring can be reduced to any required level. The ring does not have to be solid and can instead consist of a large number of individual magnetic objects that are deflected by the stations as they pass by. Paul Birch proposed this idea in 1982, which involved a massive ring encircling the globe with cables attached to Earth's surface. Soviet inventor Anatoly Yunitsky proposed a similar electromagnetic track, while Andrew Muhlenberg and his students presented various low Earth orbital ring applications. The simplest design involves placing a rotating cable or inflatable space structure in an orbit supported by superconducting magnets, with ring stations hanging down short elevator cables. The story revolves around the idea of a massive network of orbital rings that could completely cover the planet and revolutionize freight and passenger transport. Not only would the system be capable of receiving and placing asteroid or moon materials where they are needed, but it could also lead to a solar system-wide terraforming and astroengineering activity that makes economic sense. While the cost of the system was estimated to be around $31 billion in 1980s money, launching materials from Earth, it could be reduced to $15 billion with space-based manufacturing. This would result in a system cost per kilogram to place payloads in orbit of around 5 cents. Various types of orbital rings were proposed, from partial to eccentric shapes to circular rings and LEO. The idea of artificial planets supported by a grid of orbital rings was also discussed. The concept has been featured in various works of fiction, including Arthur C. Clarke's 3001, The Final Odyssey, Star Trek, and Star Wars, The Clone Wars. In various universes and games, the concept of an orbital ring is explored. In Warhammer 40,000, Mars boasts the Ring of Iron, the largest man-made structure in the galaxy, which functions as a shipyard. However, Medusa's Telstarax is an example of a Dark Age of technology ring that has been largely plundered. X3 Terran Conflict and its successor X3, Albion Prelude showcase a shattered free-floating orbital ring around Earth, while Xenoblade Chronicles 2 introduces a giant tree growing around the base of an orbital ring. Escape velocity, Nova Earth's moon has been strip-mined for centuries and now exists as an orbital ring, majority owned by the Sigma Shipyard Corporation. Finally, in Stellaris, players can construct orbital rings around their colonized planets for production-boosting purposes. Common to all of these is the theme of man-made destruction and creation, as well as the importance of innovation and technology in expanding humanity's reach beyond Earth.